Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com with If I Could Choose Only One Work by Prokofiev. It would have to be, and this was a toughie. This was a real toughie because he wrote so many pieces that are, first of all, wonderful, and second of all, incredibly popular. And then he wrote a lot of things that are kind of less popular. And I've chosen something that's a bit in the middle that a couple of you mentioned, although it wasn't the most popular pick. I think the most popular pick was Romeo and Juliet. And I understand why. I mean, it's got amazing tunes, wonderful tunes, and lots of them. And it's one of the great full-length classical ballets after Tchaikovsky. It may be the last of them. It's certainly one of the last of them. I mean, there are other ones like, Britain's The Prince of the Pagodas and things like that. And, there are some substantial ballets, but that really are in the repertoire and whatnot. I don't know. I don't know if there's much after Romeo and Juliet other than Prokofiev's own Cinderella. And so I chose Piano Concerto No. 2. Now, why did I choose Piano Concerto No. 2? Well, Prokofiev himself kind of described the elements that made up his style. There was the tunefulness, for sure. I mean, the melodic inspiration, that wrong note romanticism, we call it, that sounds like the tune's going to be a big, lush thing, but it has just enough harmonic spice to make you know that you're in the 20th century. Then there was the grotesque element, this sort of exaggerated, ironic, humorous, grotesque element, which is really a major element of his style and which is not evident in Romeo and Juliet. It just isn't there. I mean, Romeo and Juliet is a serious romantic story. And so Prokofiev did not go for that sardonic element. It's in Cinderella, but not Romeo and Juliet. And then there's the ostinato style, the mechanical, that sort of hammered home, modern, rhythmic, punchy, and that's also in the second piano concerto, but not so much in Romeo and Juliet, although it certainly has its, do-it-yourself dance pieces with steady rhythm, and they work wonderfully well. But Prokofiev was also a piano guy, first and foremost. I mean, there's the fabulous series of piano sonatas, arguably the strongest group of works that he ever wrote, even more powerful, at least more consistent than the symphonies. And then there's all of that wonderful other piano music, the Vision Fugitive, and the piano versions of the ballet music and all this stuff that gets played pretty regularly, and which is absolutely marvelous. And the 5 piano concertos are also an amazing cycle of works, also very inconsistent. The 5th piano concerto is underrated. The 4th is for left hand alone, and nobody particularly likes it. I don't even particularly like it. It's a strange piece, and oddly sort of unrewarding for everybody. But the 2nd piano concerto is the greatest of them all. It's the largest of them all. It's not the most popular. That's the 3rd, but it's in 4 substantial movements, beginning with a moderately paced, slowish movement. It's a little bit like the structure of the 5th Symphony, with an andante, then a scherzo, then a slowish movement. Well, the 5th Symphony is a real adagio, and a zippy finale. The concerto doesn't. The concerto begins with a slowish movement based on a beautiful tune. Oh my goodness. Ya-ta-bum, ya-ta-tum, bum, bum, bum. That thing. It's gorgeous. Leading to the cadenza from hell, a solo piano cadenza that is so crazy and so big and so exaggerated that, when I saw Alexander Toradze do it, he was standing up, pounding on the piano when he was done with it. It's extraordinary, just extraordinary. Then there's a wicked toccata-like 2nd movement and a grotesque scherzo-like slowish 3rd movement. And then a crazy finale with a beautiful central interlude that has a lovely, lovely tune in the middle of it. It really has everything that Prokofiev offers. And on a big scale, and with his very characteristic orchestral sonority, with its, interesting bass writing with bass drum and low trombones and things, and an extraordinary piano part. And it's just everything that makes Prokofiev Prokofiev. And that's why I chose the Second Piano Concerto, and I'm very happy a couple of you did too, because I know that the evil god Cancrozans is going to love this particular choice, and he's going to be so intrigued by the various elements of Prokofiev's style that he's going to want to hear all of that other stuff, and he will refrain from wiping out all of classical music, but for this single work by each and every composer. And so Prokofiev, it's got to be Piano Concerto number 2. So keep on listening, friends. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care.